Hi, my name's Jen Petrie, and today, outside the square, we're going to be talking about vibration. So, vibration is a part of quantum physics, and the reason I particularly want to speak to you about it now is because it's something that I talk about quite a lot, about keeping a high vibration, and particularly at the moment with staying healthy and staying well. It's something that has become more of a focus for people, but there also seem to be a lot of people saying, well, I've heard of vibration and I know it exists, but how does that really affect things? So I just want to have a bit of a chat to you on a really simple level as to what it is so that you can grasp the concept and then you can decide what you want to do moving forward with that knowledge. So to start with, everything is energy. That's basic physics. Your energy, I'm energy, there's energy coming through us. There's energy we can see in the plants because it grows. There's energy on physical things, right? On a chair or a table, there's energy in that. And if you zoom right in, you'll see that it's actually a group of molecules that are moving around and they're not even still. And the same thing when you zoom out. There's a really great visual that I saw a couple of years ago of zooming in and zooming out, and everything it's the same. So that's the greater concept of what's there. If we look at the next level of that, all of that vibration exists on a light spectrum. So we've got things, the two ends of that, the things that you've heard of. One is radio waves and infrared waves. So when you listen to the radio and you hear things, that's coming in on a certain wavelength. That's why you can change the channel. And the other end of that is ultraviolet light, X-rays, and things like the sun, right? If people talk about getting sunburnt, we can't physically see that light burning us, but you can see the implications of that. So not all light can be seen, okay? Not all light can be seen. Yes, we can see different colors. Yes, we can see different objects and different densities of things. Water's always a good example because we can see water as ice, water as water in liquid form, or water as gas in a more spacious form. I'm not sure exactly the right words there. So we can see some things, and there's some things we can't see. Okay, we can't see the UV light that's coming from the sun. We can't see the internet, but we know if we've got our phone and we click it that from somewhere this information comes that we can't see. Okay, electricity is another one. Can you see it? No, but if something is live there and you touch it, it can kill you. Right? So it's again something that we can't see on that spectrum. So when we start looking at what we can see on the spectrum, then we've got a series of colors, okay? And the colors all move through and they all have different levels of vibration. That's why they look different. So yes, orange is going to be closer to the red vibration than it is to the blue because it's closer in color, okay? So we have this color spectrum, and then everything exists within this. The color spectrum is the visible light, and this exists on this whole greater vibrational scale. So everything exists in there. Your food exists there on some level. The colors of live food that you eat will relate to the vibrational level of the color. Okay. When we talk about chakras, which are our body energy centers, they also have different colors. So again, the colors of the food you eat vibrates with the same as the energy center, and it enhances that energy center particularly. That's one reason I talk about eating the rainbow. When I talk about what's great to eat, it's a rainbow of things because your body has different organs which need different things. So, what do we do and how does this associate with other things? So we know things like sound and music are energy. We know that our cells and our organs are energy. We know that food, chakras, there's a range of things that we can see and not see. Water has energy. Okay, water has a vibration, and the vibration of that can be shifted and changed. So if you look up, there's a book by Emoto, who was a Japanese scientist who passed away a couple of years ago, called The Hidden Messages of Water. And you can probably Google it, and there's videos on it. If I find one, I'll attach it to this video as well. What it finds is, he did an experiment measuring water crystals in the water and how the vibration changed based on the thought. So they set a thought and intention to water. They got water from different places and they used water from the same place and set different intentions on it. What he found was quite remarkable. He found that the water that was sent love vibrated really high, and it was such a beautiful ornate crystal that came out of it. The one that got negative feedback, that was death and grief, that was just sludge. There was no vibrancy to it at all. So, what's the moral of this? A couple of things. Firstly, we are made up of mostly water. Your physical body is made up of somewhere between, depending on who you listen to, 70 to 95% water. What does that mean? That means that your thoughts can impact your vibrational makeup of your body, because you're mainly water and we can influence that. And that changes the vibrational scale you're on. What does that mean? That means that if you're sitting in disease, you're in a low vibration. And we want to raise that up to being a higher vibration, because that's going to keep us healthy. And then the disease, the virus, whatever it is, can't get to us. Well, what if I've already got something? You say, okay, that's okay. You can work through it and shift and change this, because everything is energy. So now I want to move on. I know that's a lot of information, and you might need to listen to this again to hear exactly the bits that are in there or that you missed. Feel free to pop any questions and I'll come back and answer anything that's there. But I want to move on to the next part of that, which is within us, what level are we vibrating at? How do we know? Okay, how do we shift and change that? So how to shift and change that on a bigger scale, I might leave for another video. But right now, what I do want to tell you can shift and change it is your emotions. So David Hawkins did a map of consciousness. The map of consciousness talks about the level of vibration that we've been talking about of emotions. And those emotions, they go from 0 up to 1,000. 0 or 20 is shame. So they're negative emotions at the bottom. Okay, that's a negative space. Where 1,000 is enlightenment, and you're not getting very many people, if any, on this planet that are at that level. So we'll sit somewhere in this spectrum. Okay, and we know we can shift and change it, which is really cool. We can change that with our thoughts. This is why we say keep positive thoughts, because that's what the scale is. So the scale goes up. There's negative thoughts, there's fear, and as you work your way up, you hit 200. 200 is the tipping point, okay? From 200, you get to choose courage, and you have to choose courage to get from courage through to the other side, which is the more positive emotions. And neutrality is at 200, 250. So once you step through courage and you get to neutrality, then you start stepping into the positive vibrations. This literally shifts the makeup of your body and the cells of your body. So when you're supporting it, you're shifting and changing them, it's raising them. I invite you to take on looking at, what do you eat? Is it dead or alive? Is it raising your vibration or lowering it? What do you think? Because in every moment, you're creating your physical body. in what you eat, what you think, what you expose yourself to, your thoughts, what you take in perhaps from TV or the internet. That all shifts and changes it. So we can do this to keep ourselves healthy, positive. What are some of the other benefits? So some of the other benefits of this are, as we raise that vibration up, and we become more in alignment, we magnetize things much faster. We attract and manifest what we want. This is one reason I run the online monthly meditations, to get us back in alignment. I do it for myself daily. Getting people in a regular pattern, and the more people there are together doing it, one, helps clear it, but also gets us back into alignment, because we end up a bit all over the place. That happens, okay? We have thoughts, but we want to bring them back. We want to clear what's there. And when we clear that, we see shifts and changes, okay? You can go back and see there's plenty of information out there now on radical remissions for people, for healings that people have had through a range of different things, but they break through what's there. And it's because they're shifting and changing their energy vibration in different ways. So there's a number of different ways we can do it, right? Our thoughts, that's why there's things like sound healings and light healings, which actually make a difference. So let's go back to the emotions. So we know that if we've got 0 to 200 are the negative emotions, and from the negative emotions, we then go from there up to 1,000. So we want to be trying to get higher and higher up on there so we can get to the peace and enlightenment stage. Here's the cracker, right? This is really cool. When you're vibrating in the 300s, you're offsetting about 90,000 people on the planet who are vibrating at 200 or less. So you're offsetting them and you're helping them raise their vibration. Okay, so this is really cool. When you then are vibrating at like a 500, and I'm going to tell you that there's like less than 0.5% of 1% of the population globally is at that level, right? Less than 0.5% of 1%, so that's quite high. They're offsetting literally 500,000 people. 500,000 people, literally. So it's exponential, right? It's not double, it's exponential in what's there. So the more people who raise our vibration, we get to be healthier. We get to draw and attract the positive things that we want in our lives better. But we're also helping shift Mother Earth and the planet and all the beings on it, right? Babies and animals, most of them vibrate quite high because they're connected and tapped into it. And this is what we get to be part of. So 78% of the global population is 200 and below. 78%, that's a lot. So if you have the choice, if you're seeing this, please share it. You know, share the video if you like, but just share, start having conversations with people. Start raising your own vibration. What's the easiest way to do that? In any moment, and you're going to come up against things, right? Life is like you're surfing. There are waves. There are good ones and bad ones. You go up and down. But in any moment, you have a choice. Here's your choice. You can choose love or you can choose fear. Love will send you forward. Yes, you may have challenges. Fear is the same. You may have challenges, but you have a choice. And when you choose to step into love, okay, you are stepping into the positivity. You're raising your vibration. So if you have an angst with someone, you disagree with someone, you're judging someone, you've slipped below 200, okay? You don't have to agree with everyone all the time, but you can listen and understand their point of view, okay? So if you listen and understand their point of view, you can forgive someone, okay? Forgiveness is a massive part of this for people to clear and heal themselves. You can forgive someone, okay, without agreeing and aligning with what they did. You can forgive them. There was a number of years ago, there was a footballer and I can't remember who it was. That's not relevant to the story I'm going to tell. There was a footballer who played a certain level of football, and he did a really horrible thing. And he basically was a young guy, and he kicked his pregnant girlfriend until she aborted the baby, right? Which sounds really, you can feel it just when I say it, right? You go, oh, that's so horrible. How did he do this? Right? Just hold the judgment. Hold the judgment. Do I agree with what he did? No, absolutely not. I do not condone it. However, can I step as a person in humanity and go, hang on a minute, how does a professional grade footballer who's finished school sometime in the last few years, who's in that community, right? This is over a decade ago, but there's a lack of connection and support there, that the best thing this person knew how to do to deal with their situation was to kick the crap out of someone they loved, right? Again, you don't have to condone it, but we can look at our responsibility, and we can look at, okay, I actually have a lot of compassion for that person. Like they didn't know who to reach out to, okay? So how can I be, without judging that, I don't have to condone it, but how can I be that I can be understanding, okay, and work through what's there? So we can choose then to sit in love and be like, you know what, I'm going to bring compassion, and where I can, I'm going to do my bit to bring the love to what's there to other people, because the only people that we can manage are ourselves, right? But if you've got acts of kindness and you're out doing that, you impact that person. And if someone sees an act of kindness just because they happen to see it, and quite often people don't even know they've been seen, that sets off ripples. That has a positive effect on your vibration and your health as a person. So, there's been a lot that I've spoken about today inside of vibration. I hope it's given you some ideas and some insight. Please let me know what you got from this. If it was helpful, if you had some insights, go back and watch it if you need to. But otherwise, remember, as you're going out there, every moment that you're positive, that you're healthy, that you're staying and choosing love, you're raising the vibration for you and for the planet. That's all. Speak to you soon. Bye for now.